Hey peeps, we are back. We're talking The Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 15, episode 10.
Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks.
Okay, so the beginning of this episode was so cute. It was adorable. I love seeing Brooklyn get a chance to meet her family and to finally meet her grandpa face to face. I mean, I thought that was so cute. I love every scene that we get with Kenya and Brooklyn, and it just made it extra special to see her grandpa with her. Ralph, he can go suck a duck. That boy, come on, he wants to put together this nice brunch. He was just excited that Drew was leaving. I said now he could see his girlfriend, in my opinion. So he invited all the girls with their men to come over and have a nice brunch. The men were going to make the brunch, which really, there was a chef there who was pretty much making the brunch, and the guys were helping out and serving the ladies. It was really nice. It started off really well. Candy ends up meeting Courtney's ex, Bryson, and she says that he's such a nice guy. She never would have thought that he would be talking to someone like Courtney. I said, damn it, Candy, that woman was trying to give you a little olive branch. I thought you guys had decided to try to see if you could be friends. Cut out the shadiness. However, that was quite funny. Now, Kenya sees Bryce, and she was a little more excited about it than I would have been. But hey, Bryce, it seems that everybody knew Bryce. Sheree makes some kind of shady ass comment about Kenya, where's your man? And she said he's at work. And I said, well, where the hell is yours? Probably over at Arion's house or somebody else's house. He ain't with you. Anyway, girl, we have seen Martell. We have seen Bob, and we also seen Tyrone. Get off of Kenya's back. Marlo shows up with Scottley. I said, look at this, look at this, look at this. Marlo is here with Scottley. I was excited for Marlo. Kenya really wasn't impressed with Scottley's outfit. She said, what is he wearing? Was Laibe closed today? And I said, would you please stop calling her business Laibe? I know you don't get along with that woman. And I know she's got it spelled wrong, but she pronounces it La Archive. And the thing is just leave her alone. She's got a man with her today. Candy says that she knows Scottley. I said, well, shit, this town is small. You know what I mean? Atlanta must be small. Everybody knows everybody. She says that she knows he's the head chef at the Continent, but she don't know him, but she certainly didn't think that Marlo was his type or that he was Marlo's type. Look, either way, he probably is not Marlo's type and she's probably not his type, and I don't think they're going to be together anyway. So, hey, Scottley, nice to see ya and goodbye. And Candy mentions that her and Todd are casting Todd's movie, and Kenya wants to know why she hasn't received her offer. And Candy said, not an audition, but an actual offer. And, Kenya was just being, cute and funny. Not that she really believed that she deserved to be offered a role in this movie. Anyway, Candy says, well, Drew has been cast. And Kenya laughs and jokes, and she made this comment that Drew has been cast. What about me? You cast Drew. But I think that she was joking. Drew didn't think she was joking. Drew throws some serious shade at this woman, and she says, have you been in a movie since Toi? Toi came out 22 years ago. Maybe it's time for you to just let your acting career go and move on. Now, she said this in a confessional, not in Kenya's face. No, ma'am. She would never say that in Kenya's face, if you ask me. However, I was a little pissed by it because I thought, are you age shaming her? What are you doing? Kenya may not have been in front of the camera recently, but Kenya has produced a lot of movies. She's more of a behind the scenes kind of person. Now, Drew does have some work. Her IMDb is looking pretty good, but she still should not have said that. I thought that was extremely rude. It seems that Kenya thought it was rude too. She posted on Twitter, so disappointed by Drew's comment. I've always supported her dreams. I never asked her about her acting career or her singing career when she fell off. Only encouraged and praised her. Wow. Uncalled for and unprovoked. Now, Kenya, I love you, girl, but you did call her music video low budget. And then shortly after, you made a comment about her career as well. I think that both of you should cut it. Continue to support each other and stop tearing each other down. I think it was rude and not called for. So Kenya gets a call from Roy, and Marlo makes it known that she knows him. She knows him. She went out on one date with him. And after that, for some reason, Sanya thought it was real important. She made sure that she mentioned it 4 or 5 times. Marlo went out with him. Oh, Marlo went out with him. Sanya, shut the hell on up. We heard. We know. Kenya is paying you both dust. Why do you keep bringing it up? It was so ridiculous how many times she said it. Kenya is not deaf. She heard you. She heard Marlo. She doesn't care. She has mastered the art of ignoring the hell out of the both of you. And Marlo was absolutely pressed. She wanted Kenya to be upset. She's not. I tell you what, I can't wait for the reunion. Kenya and Candy are going to tear Sanya, Drew, and Marlo the hell up. I just can't wait. Marlo's gonna pull out her phone to let Candy check her DMs. She says that back in 2018, she posted something on Instagram asking what should she wear, and Roy got in her comments and said she should wear the bodysuit, and then they started, DMing each other, and then they went out on a little lunch date, and Kenya said, well, good, he found out what he didn't want, and now he's free to date me. Listen, Marlo then makes some kind of comment about Kenya dating all these dudes and they didn't want her. Listen, Marlo, stop with the foolishness. Stop with the foolishness. You went out with this dude one time. It didn't go anywhere. Now he's dating her. Move on. And why would she care? It was, Martell was in the DMs. It was a big thing. But Roy in the DMs, and get the hell out of here, you and Sanya. Because first of all, when he jumped in your DMs, he didn't even know Kenya then. He doesn't owe her anything then. And she had no claims on him at the time. And I don't think she had any claims on him right then at the brunch where you guys were having, because they were not in a fully committed relationship. Why would she care? And the reason she cared about Martell being in her DMs is because she knows that he is a clout chaser. She knows him for his works, and she was trying to help Sheree, even though she should have told Sheree all of this privately, but you know what I'm saying. Marlo makes some kind of comment about Kenya's got her leftovers. How the hell is that possible? You went out with him for brunch. What was that, about a 2-hour brunch? Girl, give me a break. What really threw me all the way back was the pot kettle Sheree situation. First, you want to jump on Kenya about not having a man. Then you're going to lean in and ask Drew, was her chef going to be paid? Girl, are you kidding me? You are the last person that should be asking anybody about payment. Okay? And I knew right off the rip that she was still pissed off about Drew making that comment on Dish Nation about Sheree taking her things back at the reunion. I knew that's what that was. I said, wait a second. Wasn't it last season where Sheree didn't want to pay Drew? I mean, every season that Sheree is on here, there's somebody that has not been paid. And, the season is still young. How dare you try to call this woman out like this? And they just got back to being cool again. Drew has already apologized for that comment. Her and Kenya went to that IV place and Drew apologized and Sheree accepted it. She tells Sheree pretty much that she doesn't want to talk about it. It's a lawsuit that's being handled by her attorney. Something about the chef was a lousy chef. There was food in the hair. She says the girl's not really a chef. She's more of a cook. And she's suing Drew for $1,000. Now, my thing is, I was with the rest of the girls when they all said $1,000. I said, girl, now listen, I'm not rich. No, ma'am, I am not rich. And, I'm DIYing some paint projects here at my house and I'm doing a bad job. I really am. And honey, listen, there's way too many paint companies in town and I should have just went ahead and gave them the money because I'm stressing myself out. My blood pressure, my pressure is high. This paint is killing me. Anyway, when she said $1,000, I was with them. I said, girl, please, please. It's cheaper just to pay this girl $1,000 and go on about your business than it is to have all of this negative press and to pay for a real attorney. I mean, stop the craziness. Just give the woman the $1,000 and go the hell on. Now, Courtney trying to get in this little conversation with Kenya, this was a bit too much for me. Sheree makes some kind of comment that she's glad Courtney's going on a trip to Portugal because she might need her crisis management skills. Now, Kenya really didn't need to say anything, but she did. And I don't know why Kenya felt that she needed to tap dance on Courtney, because Courtney, she was, on her best behavior, up until. So Kenya says that, they don't need Courtney for crisis management, considering that her and Candy had got into it. And Kenya says that she's her own crisis manager or whatever. And then Courtney makes some kind of comment. Of course, you wouldn't need crisis management and all this other stuff. But, Courtney is the talk with her hands, touchy-feely kind of person. And she touched Kenya. Listen, Kenya turns around nicely and tells her, please keep your hands to yourself because you don't really know me like that. And Drew says, oh, yes, she just wants you to respect her boundaries. Courtney tries to act like she didn't touch Kenya, but your fingers touched. I mean, your fingers touched a woman. So just, go on about your business, girl. But anyway, Candy saw the writing on the wall. She said, oh, no, I'm done. She had cleaned her plate and she was ready to go. She went and got Todd quickly. Let's get the hell up out of here. Candy was just excited that she was not in the middle of the BS. And, listen, I'm with Candy. Todd, let's go. So the ladies head out to Portugal. And I laughed a little bit because I have a best friend who went to Portugal last summer and she fell in love with it. She came back and she said, Pia. I said, what is it? She says, I'm going to sell my house and move to Portugal. I'm going to become a dual citizen. And I said, now what the hell has gotten into you? And she says, listen, I love Algarve, Portugal, and that's where I'm going to live. And you're going to come and visit me all the time. And I said, girl, you are out of your damn mind. But no, her house is currently up for sale and she's moving to Portugal. So when they got to Portugal and they were in Algarve, Portugal, I laughed, I chuckled. I said, you know what? This place is absolutely beautiful. And I can't wait for my friend to move there because I definitely will be visiting. I'm just saying. So the girls get on the Sprinter van. And at first I said, oh God, not the Sprinter van. Because normally housewives do not get off easy on a Sprinter van. Something always goes left. Everybody is usually fussing and fighting, but nobody was fussing and fighting this time. I mean, Candy was a bit sick. She had got the food poisoning, and so she was in the restroom for about 3 hours on the airplane. And when she was telling us about how it was coming and going from both ends, I said, well, why didn't you get some of that Pepto? When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and, the diarrhea. Get the Pepto. I'm just saying. Anyway, Marlo was extremely childish. She's making all these faces and everything. Ooh, was it number 1 or was it number 2? Girl, you are over 46. Cut the shit. Everybody has to go number 2. Cut the crap. Sheree goes on about this healing trip and all this stuff. And I'm like, girl, please, Ewan's never go on a healing trip. Every housewife franchise that has the healing trips, it's always some BS. There's always a sound bath and bong, and everybody always goes to sleep. Somebody cusses somebody out. Somebody threatens another person. It's never healing. By the time they get ready to come back from the trip, they're usually ready to pull each other's hair out. I'm sick of hearing about these healing trips. Drew lets everybody know that Ralph is in Vegas trying out for the Chocolate City. I said, hell no. Hell no. First of all, I don't want to see Ralph at the Chocolate City. Actually, I won't even go to the Chocolate City. It's something odd about a man that I don't know gyrating, and I don't like a strange man's business in my face. I just don't love it. But I would absolutely not allow my husband to be gyrating and having a good time. Nope. I'm just saying. The rest of the girls wanted to know what the hell was up with that too. They said, keep us posted if he gets this, job. I don't think so. So Sanya did have something funny to say. She said, all right, ladies, let's get ready and get out in these streets of Portugal so we can see who's recognized first, Candy or Marlo. I thought that was hilarious. I really did. But Candy is not feeling well. Somebody grab her some ginger ale. I'm just saying, leave this woman alone. We all know she's worldwide. Drew not knowing that South Africa was a part of Africa. That concerned me because last week, Kenya thought Portugal was Spain. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I need the both of them to just take a glance at a world map. Just a glance. Just get a gander of it. You know what I mean? I'm not good either with stuff like this. Those road maps, the highway maps, can't read them to save my life. The rest of my cousins, they all know how to read a map. If I was lost and my Google wasn't working, I would be dead on the side of the road, or at least standing out there begging for somebody to point me to the right place. Can I get to the nearest gas station and ask for help? I'm just saying, I need some help too. Drew was still upset a little bit about Sheree bringing up that this girl was suing her. And come on, let it go, Drew. Last year you read Sheree for filth about not paying people. You did go on the radio and tell everybody she took her She by Sheree stuff back. Let it go and move on. If you want to talk to her about it, I was thinking maybe talk to her about it separately because these girls don't know how to act. Kenya was talking to Candy about her new court date she has for her divorce, and Candy says, I don't want to hear nothing else about your 3-year divorce. And that is so true. I laughed so hard when Kenya said, yes, I've been divorcing longer than I was married. That is facts. It really is. I don't know why Mark is holding up this divorce. If he was really an upstanding person and didn't truly want anything from her, that divorce would have been wrapped up in 6 months. Kenya said that she really didn't care anything about Marlo going on that one date with Roy back in 2018. She says it again. He went on one date with her and realized what he did not want. She said that Roy is fine, handsome, young, eligible, and he doesn't have to pay for the puss. It was not a date. Okay. Now, Sanya, who is kissing ass all the time, is up Marlo's butt, so excited to find out that Marlo went on a date with Roy before Kenya. I'm sick of Sanya. By the way, Sanya, congratulations on your pregnancy, but girl, please let this be your last season. Now, Drew and all the girls go down for dinner, and Drew tries to order tequila shots. I said, Lord, the server is completely confused. Now, if you wanted them Kathy Hilton tequila, you should have said, we'd like to have tequila shots in the name of whatever Kathy's tequila is, or give us that 818. I will never forget that after Lisa Rinna. I'd like to try my friend Kendall Jenner's tequila. Can I have some of that 818? Anyway, Drew didn't know the magic word of ordering tequila shots. They ended up getting some sort of tequila cocktails, everybody. I said, well, okay, next time, have somebody else ask. I mean, this didn't work out. Now, Kenya asked a question about if you could wink in both eyes. And I tried, and no, I can only wink with my right eye. I can't wink with my left eye. Now, Monyetta could wink with both her right and left, and it was kind of sexy too. I said, okay, Monyetta, I can't do that. Daggone it, I'm a practice. Anyway, Courtney brings up the whole thing with Kenya again, and Kenya graciously handled Courtney. She could have been rude. She could have put Courtney in her place. Both of them spoke about it and moved on. Drew was there to explain to her, listen, Kenya just wants to set some boundaries. She doesn't really know you like that. And, ignore the looks on Candy's face because, she kind of looks like a bitch from time to time. And I love Candy. I love the looks on her face. She's a lot like my friends. You know what I mean? You can read everything by our face. I have a friend who tells me all the time, fix your face, control your face, because you giving it all away. And that is true. I'm just very expressive. Anyway, Drew explained it to her, you don't know them. You don't know us like that. So, just sit back, listen, and, read a room, for goodness sakes. Now, Courtney went back and told Ralph the stuff that Sheree was saying about Drew. So Drew decides to bring it up at the table. Now, listen. Sheree at this table was acting very childish and ridiculous, in my opinion. Drew, to me, was actually on point. She was making sense, and she was trying to handle this like a mature adult. Sheree's voice got really high. She went up a whole octave. Drew said, we are in a nice restaurant. Bring it down. You just bring it down a tiny bit. Sheree, cut the crap. Stop calling Drew a liar, because clearly she's not. Candy said that her merchandise got taken away. Kenya said all she got was a hat. Drew said her merchandise was taken away except for maybe the hat. And even Sanya in her confessional said that her merchandise was taken away as well. Stop calling Drew a lie, because it's clear that she wasn't lying. You must have told those people to take that stuff back, or those people just didn't want them to have it. The point is what she said was not a lie. And she also already apologized to you about this. And you need to sometimes sit back and own your stuff. Sheree, you do too damn much. And I also agree when Drew said, how can this be a healing trip when you're incapable of healing? And that's clearly true, because she already apologized to you, and that was supposed to be settled. Now, when Drew got up and left out of there and she was crying, I felt for her. And at first I said, why is she leaving? I'm like, not Chicago, Drew. But then I realized Sheree was gaslighting her. And maybe she thought about all the times that Ralph gaslights her. And maybe that's why she just needed to get up and walk out and get a breath of fresh air. Because, Sheree is full of crap, and that behavior was disgusting. Come on, Sheree, do better. This is a healing trip, but you're going to act like a complete idiot in the middle of this restaurant, screaming and yelling and acting a fool and calling this woman a liar when the rest of your cast just said that's not true. The only person there that agreed that they got merchandise was Marlo, and she's probably lying. Anyway, you guys, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.